morning and welcome back to Lavender Farms. We are standing here in the front of my yard this morning. The driveway to our nursery is right behind us. And this last year, I spent a lot of time during the heat of the summer working on this flower bed. And I thought, let's take this moment just to kind of show you how it has transitioned. So I used to have a bunch of big birch trees here, white paper barks. Ice storm came, took them out, and so it was time for a change. So a lot of you don't see the inner workings of my yard because it's hidden by these Nandinas back here, which are my evergreen shrub. It's a heavenly bamboo. It's not a bamboo, but that's kind of the common name for it. So it's a Nandina called Gulf Stream. And Gulf Stream's gonna go about 3 foot tall. So it kind of gives us a little bit of privacy, but then it's kind of like my own secret garden back here. So I chose to do some peaches, some purples, some blues. And so this is one of the roses that we put in. This is a week's rose called Forever Amber. And it's got this really lacy, kind of like an English rose. And it's just a lovely peachy color. It has these great little heads. And so I paired that with some Midnight Masquerade Pennisetum. And these are the seed heads. That's what you're seeing now. But I love the contrast of the dark purple or the purple leaves with the apricot colors. And then in front is some Hidcote lavender. So it's going to be an English lavender. So just the pairing of these couple different items is just fantastic. I do have a little ground cover down here, kind of a silver creeper, and it's gonna have orange flowers on it later in the summer. So just kind of a fun other plant. In the back here, of course, our clematis is doing really well. It's got some beautiful color to it. And then we did put a thunbergia on it as well. I think this clematis is called Wester Plate, is the name of this one. Does really well. And then sticking with the peach tones, we did some Bermuda Beach with the Indigo Mini Vista petunias. And if you look closely, you can see, let me kind of get to a spot. And so we need to move to this back side over here, back to where we were. Right here, you'll see that there is some damage on these petunias. And I just saw it this morning when we were out here. And whenever you start seeing any damage like that, chances are you probably have budworms of some kind. And even looking, here's another little hole. And if I dig down, I might find them. But it's just easier to start spraying. This coleus in the middle is called Velveteen. So, it could be sprinkler damage, but chances are when there's so many flowers, if I get down here a little farther, definitely something's been eating on those. So you really want to make sure that you just spray it. So this is our Captain Jack's. This is just a ready to use trigger finger. And we're early enough in the morning that I just go through and I just spray it down. And I'm going to do this now, and I'm going to do this again probably in about 7 days. But really, that will help to control my budworms. I'll fertilize it up good, give it a nice dose of fertilizer, and get it blooming really well. And this will really help with that. After all the time and effort we put into the garden, it's just a bummer. You hate to see budworms come in, especially this time of year. So we are a zone 7. So for those of you watching farther away, that's kind of what those are. So then if you look at this side, I know there's some pots and different things, and my flower beds are always a work in progress. We won't go too far. But as you can see, here we are repeating the Forever Amber Rose is what I put in here with the lavender. And then I got some agastache towards the back, kind of to bring out that peachy tone as well. So that works really well, bringing that all kind of together. So anyways, that's kind of what we have going on today, doing some deadheading, just working on some color combinations, adding a few more pops of color, and just kind of enjoying our day in the garden. And waiting for a few other things to bloom and fill in. Again, thanks so much for watching, and happy gardening.